It is the first week in September. It is a Thursday. We are at the Venetian Palazzo Poker Room, and we're going to play a tournament. An $1,100 MSPT poker tournament. Let's just try to win. Why not? We'll win this one. Let's go.
Okay, getting this thing cracked open right away with a few disclaimers. I won't even go into the I don't play mini tournaments thing, because y'all already know that. However, what I will say is that I was seated in the 4 seat all day, which turns my vlogging angle and thus presentation into horridness, in my opinion. You'll notice this immediately. Not much I can do about that. Second, I'm working with a brand new camera for some shots and the settings were a bit off. Unfortunately, one of these shots was a pivotal hand in the tournament, so it'll look kind of funky. You'll notice this too. However, I promise you, together, we will survive these first world atrocities. I skipped recording the first few levels because what kind of vlog is it if I end up busting by level 3? So the shot you currently see is level 4 with blinds at 200-400 with a 400 ante. And I'm a bit below my starting stack of 25,000 chips. So now it's level 5. Camera is on and we're recording in earnest. We aren't on crumbs, but we could stand to win a pot or two. Here we open a 1200 with pocket 6s and get called by the hijack and the big blind. When the big blind checks to us on 7-5-3 rainbow, we c-bet for 2,000 and take this one down. Not a big pot by any means, but at least we're moving in the right direction. I won't really cover this hand, and I really only show a piece of it to illustrate what a camera snafu looks like. I do win a sizable pot in this level here with kings versus ace-10 offsuit, which goes to explain how my stat goes from this to this as this story continues.
Children, we find ourselves still in level 5, when from yonder middle position, our hero doth spy a pair of queens nestled within his hands. With confidence he makes his move, opening the play to 1,200. Only the big blind doth answer the summons, clutching a meagre stack of but 4,500 after his call. The flop reveals itself, jack and 2 tens, with 2 hearts. The villain checks, and we, with steady resolve, continue with a wager of 1,000 more. The villain calleth once again. Then comes the turn, the 7 of diamonds. A card that, though it be not the most welcome, lacks the menace to halt and advance. When the adversary checks yet again, our hero casts his eye upon the villain's paltry stack and wagers enough to put him all in, 3,400 in sum. He calls, placing all his hopes upon his ace-jack, but alas, no salvation awaits him. The river brings the 5 of clubs, and thus he is vanquished, his fate sealed as he taketh his leave to the showers.
You called us down here to show us that the hero bet queens for 2 streets and 1. This hand hardly seems worthy of retelling, much less immortalizing it in some tome. Wait. Since this story was so short, can we use our remaining time for you to explain to us who this Hawk Tour girl is?
So entering level 6, I'm feeling pretty good. My chip stack is moving in the right direction, and I believe that I have a good handle on the vibe at this table at this point. Here at 300, 600, 600, the low jack decides that she wants to limp into the pot. Not on my watch. I raise to 2,500 holding jack 9 of diamonds. Farrah Galfond in the big blind finds the call, and the limping hijack folds. Heads up. Ace 7-4 rainbow. She checks, and I'd really have to reach to say that I had anything going on with this board. I mean, there's a diamond, I guess. I c-bet for 1,800 and Farrah calls again. The turn 7 of diamonds gives me a little bit of hope. She checks again, and with tournament chips being so valuable, I decide to check back here rather than having to bluff all 3 streets if I miss my draw. The river 10 of spades means that I've missed my draw. She now leads for 2,100, and the wise move here would be to just fold. However, you can't win if you fold. So I grab chips. A lot of chips. 6,500 worth, and send them to battle. It doesn't work. Farrah snap calls with 7-6 suited, and well, I tried. So much for my handle on the vibe at this table. In level 8, we play an interesting one. With blinds at 500 1K with a 1K ante, the hijack decides to limp in. The cutoff does too, the button follows suit, and the small blind jumps in as well, right as I'm looking down at 8-5 of diamonds. There's nothing magical about this hand, so I check my option. Who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and flop something, and if not, well, I got a free look. 5 players. King 8-5 with 2 spades. I think this qualifies as flopping something. The small blind checks and I bet 2K. The hijack quickly calls. The cutoff and button exit, and after this action, the small blind tanks, then finds the call. So most likely scenario is one of these 2 players has a king and the other has a draw. Okay, got it. Come on, dealer. Just keep this board clean. The dealer burning and turning the 8 of hearts, well, that works. The small blind now leads for 5K. Wait, what? So the question in my mind now is, do I just snap this dude off or wait and keep the hijack in the trap?
You remember the story you told me about the father bull talking to the son? They're up on this hill, they're looking down at a bunch of cows. And the son goes to the father, Dad, why don't we run down there and fuck one of these cows? Now, you remember what the father said? The father says, son, why don't we walk down there and fuck them all?
I told you that.
Yeah.
Why don't we fuck them all? That's funny.
So we choose the wait option. Call. The hijack tosses in a 5K chip too. The trap is now set. Come on, dealer. Just keep it clean. The dealer burns again and turns the King of Hearts. You've got to be kidding me. Seriously? The small blind checks, and believe it or not, internally, I'm laughing. Damn tournaments. I check. The hijack now tosses out 25K worth of chips into the middle. Good God. The small blind folds, and still internally laughing in a forlorn sort of way, I begin the hand funeral.
What a nasty, 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 nasty river. What a nasty, nasty river.
Wow.
I don't know what you're smiling at, Watermelon. Your big move just turned out to be shit.
Still in level 8 and still kind of smarting from that 8-5 of diamonds debacle, I pick up this bankroll destroyer. Ace King offsuit from under the gun. I open to 2,000. The only action I get is from the big blind, who's sitting on about 30K in chips. 10, 9, 8 with 2 hearts. Oh, yuck. He checks, and I just check this horrific flop back. The turn brings the deuce of spades, and he leads for 3,500, which is a pretty big lead. In a vacuum, folding might be the best play. However, there are other plays available, especially since I hold the Ace of Hearts. I call. I just want to see something. The 5 of Hearts hitting the river is exactly what I wanted to see. The big blind continues to bet. 5,600 this time. I pause, for effect, then announce all in.
Hold on.
That's a cheap fix.
Obviously repping the nut flush. This he doesn't expect. He's in the blender. After a short period, he shrugs and, unfortunately for me, announces call, turning over pocket eights, which is a flopped bottom set. Bad timing, Jamin. Bad timing.
Hold on. Mullen. Mullen.
So after a hectic 15-minute period in level 11 where I feel like I was all in every other hand, I've worked my stack back to about 27 big blinds, which isn't heaps, but I can dance with it. In this one, I open King 10 suited to 4,000 and get 2 callers, the cutoff and the small blind. 8-8-9 rainbow. Nothing much doing on this flop. We all check. The turn 10 of clubs gives me top pair and adds 87 different draws to this board. The small blind leads for 7,000, I call, and the cutoff folds. The river 3 is a brick. It's one of the few cards in the deck that completes nothing. The small blind continues for 16,000. I have top pair. Well, technically I have 2 pair, but you know what I mean. I could be outkicked, albeit unlikely. He could have an 8, but since he just had a set of 8s, the poker gods wouldn't do that to me again so quickly. So the most likely scenario is he's missed one of those 87 draws. I call, and he instantly turns over ace-jack offsuit. I respect the quick reveal, but I enjoy getting some of those chips I gave him earlier back into my stack. I end level 11 on a really good note. Pocket queens, pocket jacks, ace-jack offsuit. I just win all the hands I enter with very little resistance, and go from about 14 big blinds to start the level to about 40 big blinds as I enter level 12. Level 12 doesn't start anything like level 11 finished. I catch an ace-high flop versus 2 other players and have to give up pocket 10s from the big blind, and 2 hands later, when I'm on the button, this hand goes down. The LoJack opens to 5,500. At this point, the LoJack is chip leading the entire tournament, and by a large margin. He's correctly opening pretty wide and just pummeling people with bet after bet after bet. Looking down at ace-queen offsuit, I could, and maybe should, 3-bet him here. But I kind of want him to just blast off. So I call. The small blind calls as well, and the 3 of us are off to a flop. Ace, king, 7 with 2 diamonds. The small blind checks. The LoJack checks, and my game time decision was to check this back, hoping the LoJack would resume betting the turn. Holding the queen of diamonds in my hand also factored into that decision. In hindsight, I wish I would have bet something. Anything on the street. You'll soon see why. The turn 5 of diamonds falls, and now the small blind insta-leads for 13,500, and the LoJack calls. The small blind leading for this size into 2 players, one of which is the max aggro LoJack, is very telling. I do have the nut flush draw and really don't want to raise and get shoved on. That would be tragic. I call the 13-5. The river is the 10 of hearts, and now the small blind checks.
38.
It's at this point the LoJack springs into action with a bet of 38,000. This sizing. Into 2 people? I had a plan of letting him blast off, but now I'm feeling as if he's legitimately strong. Like flush or 2 pair strong. This isn't ace-jack just going ham. I don't like this spot. At all. I fold pretty quickly. The small blind tanks for a bit, then folds behind me. I don't know. Maybe I just pussed out and let the LoJack get away with one here. But I'll live to fight another day. So some way, by the grace of God, your guess is as good as mine, we are still left in this thing. There is about 20 people left. I think 11 move on to day 2, and we are a little bit below average. Just a smidge. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's try to knock one out at least. Let's go. It's my time. Don't care what you say, it's my time. I'll be the GOAT, I'll be the go-to. I'll be the one that people go to. You wanna play, then let me coach you. I go the way that I can show you. Up on the wave, ain't gonna go through that. Man, look at the way I'm bringing no school back. Man, look at the faces, better go and embrace it. Cause I ain't going away, you can't break this. Nothing on earth is gonna change this. You ain't seeing my arrangement. To the top where I'm staying. Me and all that I came with. Me and all of my people. Doing all good and fighting off evil. This my time, you speak, I can't see.
Are you just gonna sit here and cool with me? Is that okay? That's what we're doing now? Right.
Get it, rain or shine. I said I'm gonna make it, you know that just.
I'm gonna try not to mess it up.
I said I'm gonna make it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You tried to cool with me. Nice try. That's nice. I know. Yeah.
How lucky am I to walk out and see this hand?
Yeah, don't Yeah, my time didn't take too long. When I'm kill you, probably gon' make you strong. Now I'm in a house with Grey Poupon. Feeling like wild, like I'm way too strong. Way too ready, way too heavy too. Look at me on the track, now I'm ahead of you. Look at me on the map, how I'm getting through. It's my time, ain't God incredible. Woo! It's my time. Oh yeah, yeah, it rain or shine. Yeah. I said I'm gon' make it, you know legends never die. Oh, it's my year. I've been on the rise. I said I'm gon' make it, man.
So you lose a pot and you're ready to quit. I need to teach you to fight.
What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Yeah, it's my time. Woo. Don't care what you say, it's my time. Oh yeah, it's my time. Yeah, don't care what you say, it's my time. My time didn't take too long. When I'm kill you, probably gon' make you strong. Now I'm in a house with Grey Poupon. Feeling like wild, like I'm way too strong. Way too ready, way too heavy too. Look at me on the track, now I'm ahead of you. Look at me on the map, how I'm getting through. It's my time, ain't God incredible. Woo! It's my time. Oh yeah.
Not like this. Not like this.
It's my year. I've been on the rise. I said I'm gon' make it, man. Don't care what you say, it's my time. Woo! I need everybody listening to this song right now to find a mirror and look at yourself in the mirror and say these words with me. Say this. I said I'm gon' make it. I'll do everything it takes. It's my time. I said I'm gon' make it. I'll do everything it takes. It's my time. I said I'm gon' make it. I'll do everything it takes. It's my time. I said I'm gon' make it. I'll do everything it takes. It's my time. It's my time.
You're supposed to get paid when it's the 8th time you've been all in, right?
Our tournament dealers and players in the 1100 MSPT event. There are now 12 players remaining in the tournament. We are bagging up 11 players this evening, and since all players that made day 2 are in the money, we will now go hand for hand until we lose a player.
So the All-In Fest continued for a while, all of which got through with no resistance. Pretty soon, I had a playable stack again, and right on cue, I pick up aces. Great timing. I open to 11,000 and get action from just the big blind. I won't say that the big blind was after me, but I will say that out of everyone at the table, he seemed to believe all my earlier shoves the least. Heads up, we see a flop of king, deuce, 5, rainbow, and after he checks, I continue for another 11,000. He tanks for a long time, which he did often, and then finds a check raise to 27,000. Our stacks are pretty similar, and there's no chance I'm folding this hand. If he has me beat, so be it. I have plenty of shows in the My List section on Netflix that are dying to get viewed. The question is, do I just shove now, or try to milk it for another street? I choose the more treacherous of the two paths. I call. The turn brings a queen of hearts, which is, well, let's just say I could have picked a better turn card. He checks again, and I shove my remaining 77,000 into the middle while at the same time trying to remember if I know my Netflix password for when I get back up to the hotel room. There's no long tank this time. After a short pause, he folds.
It's my time. I'll do what it takes. It's my time. It's my time.
Zero clue which break this is, but I can tell you this. There are 12 people left. We play down to 11 tonight, and we make money when one more person gets knocked out. And I'm just chilling, you know? I got about 170K chilling because I'm a tournament professional now. I'm a a tournament pro. This is what I do day in, day out now. Oh. No, I'm not.
We are 15 levels in, and I have zero clue what is going on in this tournament I'm about to cash. I don't know how many day ones there are, or if it's a good structure. Hell, I don't even know how long the levels are, or how many chips we even started with. I'm clueless.
There's 3 day ones? My buddy asked me, he goes, how's that? Should I play that tomorrow? How's the structure? And I go, I don't know, sure, it's good. Go for it. He goes, how long are the levels? I go, I don't know. He goes, you've been playing all day, you don't know how long levels? I go, I have zero clue. He goes, what have you been doing all day? I go, I just, yeah, when I'm in the pot, I try to win the hand. That's it.
So we're still in the hand-to-hand portion of the evening, which seemed to last forever. We need to lose one more person, and then we bag for the night, and I look down at ace-queen offsuit with about 25 big blinds. Could this be it? I open to 12K. The button, who had been pretty snug, calls, and the big blind, who had been anything but snug, calls as well. 3 players. 4 clubs, king of clubs, jack of diamonds. I check. The button now takes the initiative with a 12K bet, and the big blind folds. Action is back on me, and I don't have a lot here, but I have a gut shot to the nuts and also have a backdoor draw to the nuts. That's enough. I call. The turn 7 of clubs, well...
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
I check again, and this time, she checks it back. The river? I lead for 40K, and she quickly folds.
Don't care what you say, it's my time. It's my time. Oh, yeah. Daddy, rain or shine. Yeah. I said I'm gonna...
That was what?
That was a very upsetting hand for me.
2 pair? Oh, Jesus.
This pot elevates me into having a very healthy stack. And a few hands later, 2 players get it all in pre-flop, and Jack 10 offsuit flops at full house versus Ace Jack suited, and I bag 171K and a ticket to return for day 2 in a couple days' time. Am I a tourney pro or what? And no, you heathens, it wasn't a real fish.